Good day, everyone. My name is Umaira. Today, my team and I would like to present on the case study of Johnson Private Limited Company (JPL). We will further discuss on the key issue, then around strategies and initiative for the four main functional department of JPL. About JPL, it is a public non-listed subsidiary of a fast-moving consumer goods FMCG group of companies based in the southern Indian region. JPL manufactured and distributed a range of products including frozen chicken, noodles, pastries, bread products, yeast, and fats. After 20 years of its operation, the Hong Kong group of companies acquired 80% of the company's shareholding and was involved in a similar industry operating within the Asia Pacific region. The company was structured into four main functional departments, namely the sales and marketing, finance and accounting, production and services, and the human resource management. The summary of the case is that Azmi, the new CEO, which was appointed in November 2009, had been assigned by the chairman to plan and execute a turnaround strategy for the company. A few years after the acquisition taken place, the company had experienced continuous decline in sales and the rising of operating costs. Therefore, the chairman had directed Azmi to check what is happening to the company's credit control and the inventory management and to further plan for appropriate turnaround strategies before the situation becomes worse.
Hi, my name is Fatin Amira Fasha. Moving on to the next part is the discussion on the four main departments of the company, and I will start with the sales and marketing department. The issues or problems occurred in this department is that they are facing a decline in sales figure from the year 2006 to 2008. The amount of sales figure decline is from $55 million to $50 million. It is part of sales and marketing department responsibilities to fix this issue. Based on the issue we have identified, we have suggested two strategies for the department to implement in order to overcome the issues, which are market penetration and product development strategies. Market penetration strategy can be done through aggressive marketing and advertisement, such as give discounted price to products that is nearly expired and less demand, or hot selling seasonal products in order to gain more customers to buy our product. Nearly expired product does not affect the quality of the product itself, and it is best if the product is expired in 2 months time so that people can have some time to still use it. There are some products that have less demand where it could contribute losses to the company when it is not sold to the customer. By giving discounted price, the company can at least cover the cost of the product. Next, do influencer or artist marketing, where they will help us on doing the marketing for our product, and we will gain more customers from the influence of the artist and influencer. Lastly, do an aggressive advertising through social media, as we know that there are many people currently using social media, and that is the best platform for us to deliver our message to them. Move on to the next strategy, which is product development. Product development is a strategy that needs modification or improvement to the existing products to improve sales. The purpose of this strategy is to attract more customers to buy our product and create a new competitive advantage for the company. This strategy can be done by improve the packaging of the existing product that make it different from the product of other companies.
So the first issue relating to the finance and accounting department of Johnson is excessive spending in advertising and promotion expenses. There was an increase in advertising and promotion expenses of 370% for the year 2008. This was to attract the consumers, especially on their non-durable product. So the company also increased the advertising and promotion expenses because they look up the market leaders, which are Nestle and Unilever. However, the outcome for the company was negative as the revenues were declining by 7%. So the second issue is poor management of account receivables. The company's account receivable turnover is lower, might be due to the inadequate collection process, poor credit term and policies, or non-financially viable clients. The average collections period is high and indicates the longer time for the company to collect the receivables. Additionally, there are also insufficient bank guarantees from the dealers and wholesalers, and it is inadequate as the company accepts the placement of motor vehicles as part of the collateral. So the third issue is poor asset management. It is found that there were empty factories intact for the last 10 years. Not only that, there were spare parts left untouched in the storeroom. Johnson might spend on the rental of other factories or buy the other spare parts which are already available and unused by the company. Azmi also found that most of the motor vehicles were more than 5 years old and had zero net book value. This poor asset management by Johnson has caused the unneeded expenses incurred and inefficiencies of the resources available in the company.
Hi, I'm Arisa. So, based on the issues stated earlier, there are some turnaround strategies that can be implemented. Firstly, focus on the company's core activity. This means that core activity is an activity that is fundamental to the company, that contributes directly to their value proposition in the industry. So, in order to create focus on the company's core activity, they need to ensure that the investment or expenses incurred can support the company's core activity and operations. Next should be credit management control. This refers to the techniques used by companies to increase their speed with which they sell items or services by extending credit potential to consumers or clients. This method can make it simpler for the client to justify their purchase. Hence, this will increase the sale, which leads to increased profit. Lastly, asset retrenchment. This is the process of reducing or cutting down inefficient assets to the company that is to ensure the financial stability and better performance. This strategy should be applied when the company experiences constant losses. For the initiative, firstly, they can have an improvement on their advertisement strategy. From this, in order for the company to face the problem, they need to reduce all the unnecessary costs that are not important. Other than that, due to poor management of account receivable, there are some ways that can be done. Firstly, give early payment discounts. A great practice for improving a company's cash flow is to provide sales discount to encourage early payments. Secondly, focus on a timely invoicing to speed up consumer payment. Next, in order to improve asset management, there are some initiatives that can be implemented. One of them is by using asset management software. This software is a specialized program that is used to track and document a company data. Other than that, by selling untouched obsolete spare parts. The untouched obsolete spare parts can be sold to other companies that run the same business operation. Last but not least, improve the economic value added for the company. Increased revenues or lower capital expenses are the two main ways a company may enhance its economic value added. Increasing revenue can be done by raising prices or selling more goods and services.
As for production and services department, there are two main issues identified when assessing this department. The very first issue to be discussed is the rising cost of raw material prices in the FMCG industry. So the existence of these external forces is a threat to JPL to operate in the market. Increased price of raw material has caused the total production cost of JPL to increase even higher, which further reduce the profit margin of the company. This rising material cost will need JPL to either absorb the additional cost by the company itself or pass the price increases onto the consumer because the profit margin of the company cannot allow the company to absorb the pressure anymore, and this will create problem in the future for JPL. So the second issue to be addressed is the unstrategic location of the retail outlets. JPL owned over 45 retail outlets but still had declining sales and incur huge losses. So the location of the store is not ideally situated for them to reach out to the customers or attract new customers, which causing this low sales performance of the outlets. There are two turnaround strategies have been developed for the issue discussed earlier. The first turnaround strategy for the first issue is a supply chain collaboration. So supply chain collaboration is what happens when two or more discrete organizations work closely together to meet shared objectives. So collaboration with the suppliers and the buyers can assist in stabilizing the raw material price. So many companies will opt for this strategy as they are pressured with the unexpected fluctuation of raw material prices in the market. So by adopting this principle of supplier relationship management, companies can often take advantage of the reduction of pricing or fixed pricing or scale increases with the supplier in exchange for any advantages that can benefit the supplier, such as offering a quick payment of cash. The next turnaround strategy to be implemented is the research and development strategy. It is a systematic approach of evaluating the current performance of the 45 retail outlets owned by JPL. Field inspection, survey, and analysis need to be done on the current performance of the retail outlets by JPL to better understand and plan in solving the issue of the declined sales due to the non-strategic location of the retail outlets. So through this research and development strategy, the company can identify and assess all the critical key factors when making a decision to either permanently close down the outlet or to relocate to a strategic location. There are certain measures and initiatives that can be suggested to the top management in facing this crisis. The first initiative to be discussed is to offer quick cash payment in exchange for price reduction on raw material. So JPL is encouraged to make a contract or agreement with the suppliers in a short-term relationship for cost reduction on these materials. They can try to propose and negotiate with their suppliers that they are willing to consider cash purchases in return for low price. So moving on to the next initiative for the second issue is to relocate the retail outlets to a strategic location. The company is striving to attract the market since they have a huge decline in sales. Hence, it is necessary for JPL to relocate its business outlets to a different location to be nearer with their suppliers and their consumers. The last initiative to be suggested for the second issue is to close down loss-making branch outlets. So since stores and retail concept have life cycles, the company should be adept at managing the death of each of these outlets to ensure their continuity and sustainability in the market.
Hi, I am Azmina. So now I'm going to explain on the human resource and management of JPL. As you can see, the first issues in HRM is on the numerous accounting standards where the shareholders had to delist the group of companies because they wanted minimal public exposure and to avoid complexity in complying with the accounting compliance required by HKAS. JPL finds it difficult to comply with all of these accounting standards requirements. The concern was to reduce unnecessary compliance costs as well as to speed up the process of decision making within the group. As a result, the chairman was able to enforce lean management and focus on customer value. As for the second issue is on the high manpower cost, where as referred from the financial statement, we can see that their expense is higher than the gross margin, which causes the company to have a negative net income. The cut down of senior management and manpower costs by recruiting local expertise is chosen because a rough total of 7 million was spent on salaries for the employees under the business unit expenses analysis, which shows the reduction of manpower costs is necessary. The strategies that we came out with are operational planning and performance management. Operational planning helps to meet their short-term goals and priorities. For instance, the plan to execute the turnaround program. This strategy ensures their day-to-day output is on track. Delisting JPL from the group of companies will now allow them to focus on improving their operational goals. For the performance management, it is best to assist the chairman to monitor and evaluate the company's performance as it ensures employees' effectiveness and efficiency. It also helps in measuring their goals and objectives. So now let's move on to the initiative. The two initiatives we think best fit for JPL includes firstly to delist JPL from the group of companies. Delisting the group of companies will help in reducing the cost as there will be no extra charges or requirements to be followed. It will also fasten the decision-making process within the management, allowing JPL to be more effective and efficient. Secondly, the cost reduction program undertaken by JPL is a great initiative to boost the company's financial stability. The replacement of the expatriates by recruiting the local expertise is a substantial cut on the manpower cost. The average salaries for local expertise would normally be lesser than a foreign worker due to certain costs to be considered. Based on the business unit expenses analysis, we could see that the benefit of employees are quite high. Therefore, it would be wise to focus on employees' benefits to reduce some costs under the cost reduction program.
In conclusion, the main issues of this case study is restructuring organization that causes a lot of problems in the four main functional departments. With that, we end our presentation. Thank you.